Hello, welcome back to another episode of the 1.2 podcast. How's it going, Jack?
Howdy.
Man, this is not going to be a good running thing, is it? Howdy, partner.
How do
Great.
you do?
How do I do? I do quite well when I try hard. So, we're coming up on first day of hunting season, and arguably, I would say the best week of the year, by far. Changed my mind.
Only because of hunting?
No. Nope. This week. So you've got the first day of hunting season comes up the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and that week, in my mind, encapsulates everything that is enjoyable and fun and great about this country, about living in Wisconsin, about uh, my family, all of those things. You have
Okay,
you know,
so not this week.
no, it's the coming Saturday
Like
after.
Saturday to Saturday?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yep. That includes the Thanksgiving block. Yeah,
I
and
don't hate that. I don't hate that.
you better not, because here's what we have. Let me detail this all out for you.
Yep.
Okay, so hunting season now. Maybe there are other seasons. There's bow seasons. There's people who get out earlier and things like that. But you have, for the first time of the year, a mass group of people going back out to the outdoors, right? Enjoying the country, the woods, wherever they are. You have the weather, which is now, crisp and clean, and that cool chill that comes through the air. It's not quite the, dead of winter, so you're not tired of it yet. It's this refreshing fall feeling that you start getting tastes of at the end of summer, but now is in full swing and reliable. So you can spend all day outside. You can have a campfire. Campfire isn't too hot. You can have warm apple cider, and so that kicks the week off. Then between Sunday and the following Sunday, you have meaningful football games, right? From an
Mm-hmm.
entertainment value, the football games coming up are going to be, it's different from opening week, right? The first couple of weeks, you're kind of figuring out who everyone is, what they are. All the preseason hype is just blown out of proportion, and so we're starting to figure out who these teams really are. So when teams are playing each other on Thanksgiving, you've got real tests of who they are, and what it should be, right? So the enjoyability factor of those games is so much higher. And then you have, arguably the greatest meal of the year in Thanksgiving, right? Even if you don't like turkey and you got all the sides, it's all comfort food based. And so you just have this whole week of looking forward to that. Yes, there's some busyness involved, but being able to get outside, go hunting and campfires, and food, family. I think arguably the best week of the year.
I put it right up there.
Now, if you wanted to take from Christmas through like New Year's,
Okay.
that's
That's for
that's okay. Is that your counter?
that's my I don't know if it necessarily I don't know if I can pick if I can definitively say, this is the best week of the year, but that to me is what rivals it.
Right.
And that one's probably a little bit unique for me
Okay.
and it relates to this show actually. I mean, with the run,
Yeah. Yep.
um, it's the culmination of another year of running.
Yep.
It's the get together with friends and family that would otherwise not be getting together. It's kind of just this weird, not weird, but pairing of friend and family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so if you add Christmas to that, it's that's always a week I look forward to, and it's fun
Yep.
and I enjoy. But I'm right there with you on, I could skip the first half of this Thanksgiving week, but that Wednesday through Sunday, that's a
Right.
solid 5 day stretch. Like
Right.
that's a solid 5 day stretch.
Right.
And
Right.
I've always thought this, and this has nothing to do with my job or anything like that, but it's always nice to, like, for someone that doesn't really take vacations, that that like Thursday, Friday, always having that off
Right.
is just a nice,
Right.
Thanksgiving, Black Friday. There's
Yep.
kind of this quiet energy leading up to it, with in almost
Right.
everything you do, in anticipation of, we're starting the Christmas season, and it feels weird to even say that before you get through Thanksgiving, but I don't necessarily think there's like a Thanksgiving season. There's
No.
just you
No.
experience that event,
I
and
I think Thanksgiving week is the turning of a page,
yeah,
right? And it's not. You're right. It's not. There's not a Thanksgiving season, mostly because Hallmark can't make money off of it. But
right,
for the most part, yeah, it's the turning of a page. It's the recognition that we're done with summer and we're looking forward to the Christmas season, the holidays, and things like that. Um, so you have, sort of a special event in at the end of the year, right? So that
hmm
that adds extra emphasis. So I think I recognize that. I would say you're not a hunter, right?
right, and then
And
that's
so
the
and so
reason for
that's kind of
skipping the first
right,
half of yeah.
right, right. So that would add
So that
kind of a
that's
special
yours and others
right,
special event, right?
right, right. So if you had hunting season coming out, that weekend before Christmas or something like that, I think that would probably put it over the top. I
Yeah.
will say though that I still prefer just the weather this week,
hmm
and this is prime campfire weather. This is prime even camping for my family. We like to camp in cold weather. Hate the mosquitoes. They're all dead now, thank goodness, and we can finally get out there. Um, there's an interesting facet about living so far north that didn't really exist other places, and that is um, if you want to get your Christmas decorations out, you kind of have to right now. I know, people say, "Oh, you can't talk about Christmas before Thanksgiving," but like, if you put your stuff out early, that's not a bad thing because it gets snowy, the ground freezes, and you literally can't get it out. To
It's funny that you bring that up because uh, yesterday I did a lot of yard work, and
hmm
kind of that end of season stuff
Yep.
cleaned up. We did the leaves a while back, but cleaned up like the real dead stuff.
Right.
Trimmed back some bushes, cleaned up down by the pool. Put all the outdoor furniture away, all that sort of stuff. And I was feeling pretty ambitious. And I told my wife, and this is our second year in our new house.
Right. Right.
I told my wife, I'm like, I think I'm ready to put the Christmas lights up
Ah.
because we didn't do it last year. I'm like, you know what, just we just moved in and whatever wasn't on the priority list.
Right.
And because what I always do is I wait until like first or second week of December, and I'm on a roof that is freshly recovering from frost, and it's 20 degrees out. I'm shivering. I can't.
hmm
I gotta like keep alternating
hmm
between putting my hands in the gloves and taking them out. And so I was like, I think I want to just do the Christmas lights today.
Good for you.
And I didn't
Well, the thought
because
counts.
right. Well, I mean, we got some new ones,
Oh, yeah.
and it's kind of not that I have a mansion by any means, but it's kind of like strategic. You're thinking like,
Yeah.
okay, where
Right.
do I have
Right.
outlets?
Yep.
Where
Yep.
is this? So I was planning it all yesterday,
Good.
and I think I'm gonna do it today.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I'm also really sore, and I don't necessarily want to get on the roof. But to your point, like I'm looking at the weather, like it's gonna be 55 degrees today.
Yep.
That would be a
Yep.
great day to be up on the
This is it.
roof
This is the
getting
day
it
to do
done.
it. That's right. That's right. This
So that's
also,
like entirely not what we were talking about, but I thought it was an interesting timing after you talked
well,
about
that's the other thing
taking
I like
advantage of the
about
weather.
another thing I like about this week is it sort of represents the end of yard work,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that if you're doing yard work after Thanksgiving, something went wrong,
Right, right.
right? so there's that's just kind of adds to the pleasantness of the year. So are you in general a cold weather person or a warm weather person?
I mean, it depends on what I'm doing,
So like
but
do you look forward to fall more than spring? Like at the end of a summer, are you looking forward to fall and the relief from the summer heat, or in the spring are you looking forward to summer more, saying I'm ready to be done with this cold. I just want to be able to go outside in shorts and t-shirt.
both.
You can only
Like,
pick one.
well, I mean, both are because I appreciate all four seasons,
Absolutely.
and so I could never live in exclusively a warm weather climate or a cold weather climate. So both are actually nice. I do look forward to both because it's after a long summer, I like getting that crispness in the air.
Yep.
After a long winter, I like when things come back to life again. You
Yep.
go outside and you can smell you know, you can smell spring.
Yep. Yep.
So I do like both. I would say generally I'm always warm. I'm always hot. So I
Mm-hmm.
prefer colder weather.
Yep.
Um, if I'm like I'll sweat just sitting here, which is disgusting and I hate it.
It's probably an issue that you
Yeah.
should look
So
into.
yeah, probably. So I appreciate cold weather for that reason. And like one of my biggest pet peeves is when we crank heat up in buildings in the
Oh yeah.
wintertime
Oh, for
to
sure.
like
For sure.
75, 80 degrees.
Yep.
Like we first somehow forget that sweatshirts were invented, sweaters were invented for a
Yep.
reason.
Yep.
Like I would kill to just wear a cardigan one day. Like I
Oh,
would
absolutely.
kill. I just can't. I could never do it because I
Are
would
you
just be a
jealous?
puddle. I would be a puddle.
Are you jealous of all my cardigans that I
I
wear?
am. I am. I just want to. I want to. I mean, no offense. People probably aren't aware of your cardigan game. If we're
No,
talking,
that's all right. That's all right.
I love like, and you probably don't know, Blue Bloods, Frank Reagan. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
guy gets home from work after wearing the suit all day and just throws his cardigan on.
That's right. That's
I
right.
love. I wish I could do that. I always tell my wife I want to get old and cold.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Rogers, man, he's got
Yeah.
those sweaters and those cardigans. Love it.
So
Love
to
it.
answer your question, I guess I prefer the cold.
Okay.
But that's
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
like
That's
there has to be qualifications though, because
oh
if you're not
sure, sure.
from around here, like you don't really know what cold is. Like when we say cold, like there's a portion of the year where it's literally dangerous to go outside. I don't like that. But
Well, that's fair. That's fair. No, but
I always say I would prefer 0 degrees over 100 degrees.
yeah, yeah. No,
And the
and I
reason for that is you can always put more on. You can only take so much off.
until the police get involved.
Yes.
No, and I lived in Arizona for 3 years, and that's exactly how I felt. Um, one little anecdote for Arizona was my wife was a nurse at a hospital down in Arizona in Phoenix, and she was treating a guy for a heart attack, but they were also treating him for second degree burns. because when he had the heart attack, he was outside. I think he might have been a homeless guy, and he fell on the pavement and was laying on the pavement for like 10 minutes before the EMS arrived. And
Yeah.
that's all it took to
Get out
get
of here with
second
that.
degree burns. So I'm not about to go somewhere where literally falling on the pavement for a couple minutes can burn you.
Yeah, but that would literally be the same thing that would happen here if you fell and had a heart attack in the winter.
Well, you just die.
Right. I mean, but you would if someone came after 10 minutes, you'd have frostbite.
Yeah, well, don't go outside in the winter.
Yeah. I'm just
No,
saying.
I understand the parallel. So that does make sense. It's funny though. So there are some people who would look at our winters and say those aren't that bad. You keep getting further
Right,
north.
right,
You
right,
know, you've
right.
got you got Minnesotans. I was just out in Montana, and they're talking. Oh yeah, 20 below. I'll be out there doing stuff. And, if you get to 40 below, yeah, that's really
Oh
cold
yeah,
now.
I get it. I get it. I know. I'm not trying to say we have it the worst, but generally,
Now, compared to a lot of the country,
yeah,
having lived in a lot of different parts of the country, there is a different element of it. I think when ice and frost starts coming through your windows,
yeah,
in the winter,
hmm
that's something that I had not seen. Growing up in West Virginia and living in Arizona and things like that. Even Colorado, like Denver, never really got that cold. I don't know why. It
hmm
would have a couple of days here and there, but yeah, having that frost like creeping its way through your window, it's kind of opens your eyes to how cold it really is outside.
yeah, and you can leave this. And this is I appreciate that this might be weird. Like I like winter, but I could go through a winter of -5 degrees without any snow. I would be completely fine with that.
Really,
Not a big snow guy.
your kids would be disappointed.
Yeah, probably.
They would be sad.
But
What are you going to do
such
with
is
the
life.
kids? What are you going to do with the kids all year? Like that's half of the way to burn their energy in the summer is okay, go outside and make a snowman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a very
I don't know.
selfish take, Jack. Come
I
on,
just don't like
think of the kids.
I just don't like wet snow.
Well, there's a difference between wet snow and dry snow, and I mean, so you're saying you don't like a specific kind of snow, like
I
that,
guess. I
like
mean,
that,
I
that
don't really like.
slushy.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is terrible. I don't think anybody likes that.
No, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Yeah, but
I
there's a
guess I
very
guess I could have a 0 degree snow.
okay, but
Just
how often
a dusting,
now you go out a dusting.
a
Now,
powdery snow.
how much of this is related to you running every day?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right.
A lot of it's
Right.
related to
Because
that.
imagine two scenarios. One scenario, you're waking up Christmas morning and your kids are running out of their room
Okay, I'm okay with
and you've
that.
got
That's fine.
and you look out the window and there's snow falling and it's
That's fine
covered
on Christmas morning and
it's,
Christmas morning only. I can suck it up
it's
on Christmas morning.
okay. All right, we'll put in that request then.
Yeah.
I need
And Santa has to land a sleigh, so
that's
there has to be snow.
I'm sure he has wheel attachments or something because he goes through Arizona too. So
Oh,
it's
that's right.
he's got to have some sort of some sort of a convertible sled,
Sure.
I imagine. No, these days he just subcontracts it all out to Amazon, right?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
I have
Well,
I have another reason. This is I was thinking about this, going back to weeks of the year.
yeah,
Another reason in support of your answer.
yeah.
And it's silly, but it's very important to me. I think we've established by now that I'm very routine based.
Mm-hmm.
I like traditions. I'm
Yep.
consistent. Name another holiday that and kind of I'll say season, even though I called Thanksgiving not a season.
Right.
But we got that consistent Thursday, Friday. You always know when it's going to be.
Yep.
And you always know how it's going to impact your schedule.
Yep. Yep.
Nothing else.
Yep.
Everything else is moving all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's true. It's, what is it?
Like Christmas is, Christmas is a horrible time this year. It just messes up everything.
Tuesday, Wednesday or something?
Yeah, it's a Tuesday, Wednesday. That's awful.
Boy.
So you gotta work Monday. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, but then you gotta come back the day after Christmas.
I mean, I'm not, but you can if you want to.
I'm just saying it's everything else is like that though. 4th of July can be any time.
Right. Yep.
New Year's can be any time.
Yep.
Easter's always weird.
It's a Sunday.
Sunday. I mean, it's Sunday.
I mean, it's kind of like not.
But it's really like it could either be snow because it's in like March, or we're talking like 80-degree weather in April.
Right.
Not 80, but
no, yeah. Easter's the most variable.
Yeah,
I agree.
I suppose you talk about like Memorial Day, Labor Day. Those are pretty consistent.
Sure. But no, I definitely agree that that's kind of the most Thanksgiving's the most routine.
And that goes to your whole week, right? Is your hunting isn't that always?
It's always the weekend before.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. So the last part of the Thanksgiving week discussion, Black Friday, in or out?
What part of it?
Well, like why is Black Friday Black Friday? See, everybody goes shopping, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why they call it Black Friday?
Yeah. It has to do with like it's the first time of the year that the books go in the right direction.
There you go. So their entries are in the black, not in the red. Yep. You're on top of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Good. So, do you go shopping? I mean, did your family ever go shopping growing up? Did your mom take you to the mall or anything like that? Have you ever been a Black Friday participant?
I have participated.
Mm-hmm.
I've participated a handful of times. Never with any real intention behind it.
So you didn't like go and stand out in front of Walmart at 4 a.m. or something like to get that one TV that they had, because they only had 5 of them in stock and first 100 people get access or something. Okay.
No, I can recall 2 occasions going. One was for my dad. He needed this mattress that and it wasn't because it was a limited thing. It was just there was such a great deal.
Right.
He wanted this mattress for a place up north that Menards was selling.
Okay.
So I didn't go and stand in like line outside.
Yeah.
I ended up standing in line outside because it was that busy, but I did not go what early time? Before it opened.
About what time did you go?
I want to say
it was like before noon.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I probably went at 7 a.m.
Okay, so true.
Yeah, it opened Black at Friday. 6 a.m. Yeah, probably, but it was still that busy. And then I did go once on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because it was probably, I would say, early part of my relationship. So maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, like now we're talking about stores opening at like 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Which I think they've scaled back now.
Yeah, they have. I thought that was a good thing. They really cut that back. Yep.
But yeah, I did that once.
Yeah.
It was to get a TV, but it wasn't any sort of like, I didn't go because I thought I was going to miss out on it. I just went because we were done with our Thanksgiving night and it was store was open and I thought it would be kind of funny. Not funny, but I wanted to experience the why people did this. But yeah, but it's always been a big part of our Thanksgiving. Like, I can remember we have family that comes up from Illinois usually, and like I always remember after Thanksgiving all my cousins are younger than me. We'd all have like the Fleet Farm toy
Yeah.
magazine out, and
Yeah.
our moms would, and the kids would be circling stuff. Our moms would be looking through coupon books, and
Yep.
they would all be like game planning. Okay, we're gonna hit up this store first, and
Right.
uh, what time does what time? I think it was Kmart at the time. What time Kmart open? Uh, so yeah, but I've never really been a big but that it's not been like I've boycotted
Right. Started out
going, or
principle, just
yeah,
right. Sure.
just
That's fair.
I'm not a big shopper to begin with.
Yeah.
And I you and I have talked about this, but I'm not, like, I've always kind of been of the opinion and mindset that if I need something, I'll just go buy it.
Right.
And so I'm never like, I haven't waited months to get something that I want or need.
Right. I will. So I started probably about midsummer. I will start making a list
Mm-hmm.
and say, okay, I'll at least see if I can wait till Good Friday and see, or not Black Friday, but different holiday.
Yeah.
Black Friday, and see if those things are on sale. Things that maybe I don't really need. Like I'm looking for a smoker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So chances are there's be some smokers on sale. So if I don't see one on Facebook Marketplace or whatever by then that's usually when I go out and look for those.
And I'm always I'm always trying to snag a deal.
Sure.
So I'll and like my wife's birthday is in the middle of December, and they've got
Yep.
Christmas, and so I'm always trying to like wait to buy her something.
Right.
And I'll always look for some sort of Black Friday, but I'm always shopping online. So I'm never really going anywhere.
Yeah, and a lot of places have those same Black Friday deals online these days anyway. So
yeah,
for most things, you don't really have to go unless you want to be one of those first 100 people at Cabela's who gets a free box of 22 bullets with you.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. I have never done that. I've only, I'll go out sometimes in like the afternoon of Black Friday, just kind of pick through the pieces of what was set up, and sometimes I'm going because I'm working on a project because it's a holiday.
Yeah.
And I'll just see what's around. But no, Black Friday has changed significantly. Most everything's online, and so I don't really.
And I got a football game thrown in too.
That's true. That's true. Yep. No, wait, on Black Friday now?
Yeah.
Oh. Who is it? Anyone exciting?
I'm not even sure who plays this year. Last year it was Jets and Dolphins, which was not exciting.
Well, if I was going to say if it's just Dolphins again, I'll skip that one. Let's see. Let's see who we got coming up. It's going to take me.
Raiders, Chiefs.
Probably skip it.
That's a fun thing too. So like the NFL has never been able to play on Friday because that's reserved for high school football.
Yep.
But they start the game at 2 p.m. because I think the restriction is at like 6 p.m. Like they can't have games on.
I always thought that was just like a gentleman's agreement. Is there an actual?
No. There's actually something.
Between who? There's like a national.
I don't know. The National Football League.
Seems to me like the NFL could do what the NFL wants.
No, because no one would watch. Like no one would play or go to high school football.
I mean,
maybe it's not an actual thing, but I think it is. Like I remember them talking about they intentionally start this game at 2 p.m. because there's a restriction as they cannot have.
And maybe it's just because they want to respect it. That seems interesting. It's interesting that high school players are still playing so late.
I don't think they are. I think there's just some restriction on
airtime, because that's like wrestling season's already underway and all these other things. So, we'll have to do some research sometime.
You've got me curious now.
Under the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, the NFL isn't allowed to televise any games on Friday or Saturday from the second weekend in September through the second weekend in December.
There you go.
The Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. So Congress stepped in and said, hey, you know what problem we're going to tackle? We are going to make
Literally.
a law. Ha! Very good. We are going to make a law.
I suppose figuratively, but they weren't literally going to tackle anything.
But yes, there we go. There we go. So our tax dollars at work, Congress, they took care of this, but they saw this problem and they said, you know what? We're going to do something about this.
To protect the integrity of high school and college football.
That's right. Those are the most integrous.
Which they do really good job with college football.
That's right. Oh, boy.
See, I told you there's something.
There, you did. I didn't know there was literally a law on the books.
And it's some. I read some article last year because it's some like really cute.
Yep.
Like it's some really cute reading of the law that they're even allowed to do it.
Right.
Because I think it only says like Friday night, and they're like, well, this isn't a night game, so.
Right. Interesting. As long as a substantial portion of the game is over by 6 p.m. local time.
There you go. Maybe there is 6 p.m.
Yep.
See, I thought I had 6 p.m. in my mind.
Yep. No, you have it.
Nailed it.
Yep. That's you are spot on. Spot on. Look at that. All right. Well, I think that concludes our...
Should end every show with my greatness.
With your greatness, yes. Yeah, whenever we hit greatness, then we'll call it quits. Although, that might take us in a couple hours. All right. Well, until your next spot of greatness, enjoy that Thanksgiving week, which isn't actually here yet, but figure we tease it up. Tease it up for the people.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right.